Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to my channel Tech Talk with Shahid. My today's topic is related to MS structures. Today we will discuss very basic things which is related to connections. There are two types mainly connections which we use for any MS structures, like pinned connections, which also called share connections, and movement connections. We will discuss the difference between both. A pinned connection is basically we provide to resist the lateral forces, which can be in x, y, and z direction, and axial forces. And but it will not be taken any movements. It will be released for movement. So that structure will not be that much rigid structure. And movement connection we use when we need to tackle lateral forces, axial forces, and movements. Movement can be in either direction, major direction or minor direction. This also called like a rigid connection, which will be like a solid movement resisting connection, mostly which we provide for our sheds, like when we have eave connection or ridge connection or any portal frame connections. In these locations we are using moment resisting connections, and where we don't need to take any moments, like we need a bit flexible connection, when we have in mezzanines secondary members connection with the main members, which we don't need any moment resisting for lateral stability, or we are not using that frame as a portal frames. Then in these locations we can use pinned connections. Here I draw already two connections. This is a movement connection, and it's a pinned connection or a share. First we will discuss movement connection. As we draw here one sketch for movement connection. This is our MS column, and it's our MS beam or rafter. Both things are for this beam. And in this connection you can see there is our end plate, and our flanges are directly connected with the end plates. When flanges are restricted or connected with any plate, it means it will transfer the movement from one element to another element. You can say from rafter to the beams. If these flanges are not connected with end plates, so it will be like a purely pinned connection, because movements are transferred via flanges. So in this case you can see our rafter flanges are directly connected with end plates, and end plates are connected with column flanges with the help of these bolts. So when there will be any movement on this member, that will be transferred from this member to this beam via this connection. And now we will come to pinned connection. This is our pinned connection. In this connection you can see these flanges are free. These are not connected with any plate, and even there is gap between this flange and column flange, which will show like if there will be any movement on this member, so these flanges will not transfer that moment to this member. These members will transfer only vertical force and horizontal force. This called axial force, and this called shear force. So in this connection it's very clear that pinned connections will resist only axial force and shear force, and this will be connected with the fin plate. If I will draw one, it's a one section from here, so it will show something like this. This is our column, and it's a web of column, and here is our I section, this one, and this plate will be something like this. So here we provide our bolts. So this called fin plate, and here this was end plate, because this plate comes at face of this member, but this fin plate always connected with web of rafter or MS beam. So this fin plate, it's always welded with connecting member from one side or both side, and here this plate, it's welded with this member, and then it will be bolted with column. So this is the difference between both. This fin plate, it can be on one side or it can be on both sides. So depending on how much you need to resist the load, and what it comes with your connection calculations, so this will be according to that. So I hope both connections are very clear for you guys. What's the difference between moment connection and pinned connection, and how it behave under different loads. So I think everything will be clear for you guys. But still, if you have any comment related to RC structures, MS structures, connections, or any member elements, do comment in my channel. So we will try to reply you as soon as possible. If you learn something from our vlogs, so we will request you to like, share and comment to our vlog. So we will continue in future also. Thank you so much.